gonna talk about the things that I liked and disliked on Virgin Voyages. It was actually really hard to think of things that I did not like on this cruise because overall the cruise was amazing, and so I feel like I really had to think about, the things that I didn't like. So the first thing I want to talk about are the bracelets. So the bracelets are a really cool idea. I totally love them more than the key card. The only thing is the design of the bracelets were kind of difficult to put on if you're by yourself. And then they also are very loose. If they're either too tight or too loose, they're super easy to lose if you go on an excursion, but you kind of have to have your bracelet when you're getting on and off the ship. So we actually had a friend lose her bracelet while we were out just because of the design. I feel like if it had like a clasp, it'll be more secure, and then it'll be easier to put on and off for someone that maybe has issues with their hands. But that's a really small thing that I came up with. Another thing that I kind of had an issue with was the fact that you can't order restaurant food to your room. You can only order what comes from the galley, which kind of sucks because there are some amazing restaurants on board, and I guess that's why you're not allowed to order it to your room. But it would be awesome if you could at least for one night order a specialty restaurant's food to your room. And while we're on the food, I want to talk about the fact that when you order food to your room, like the delivery service, you have to pay if you're not purchasing anything. So if you're not making an alcoholic beverage purchase or any other type of beverage purchase or some type of food that actually costs additional money that's not included, you have to pay at least like a $10 fee. That's what I saw while I was out there. That just made me cancel my whole order. Honestly, I was ordering one night and I saw that $10 fee and I was like, you know what, I'm fine. I'm not even gonna eat anything tonight because all I wanted was some popcorn, and I was not about to pay $10 to get popcorn delivered to my room. The app. So I'm sure a lot of people have talked about the app by now. The app is a great idea. It really has everything that you need to be successful on this cruise, but it sucks. Getting service to the app sucks when you're on the Wi-Fi on the ship. I got kicked out of my app multiple times throughout the day, and I actually paid for the premium Wi-Fi, and it still did not work as well as I would have liked. I actually didn't try streaming anything. I just used the TV to stream. So all I was doing was using the app and then using my computer because I paid for the premium, and the Wi-Fi was still kind of iffy, but I guess it's still really cool that they offer Wi-Fi for free, unlike a lot of other cruise ships. But for the premium Wi-Fi, I feel like it should have worked a lot better for $140 for the cruise. But something that I feel like I'm just being nitpicky about was the fact that there was only one area to play basketball / pickleball or volleyball. I feel like maybe if the space was bigger, or if there was more than one, or maybe if there was even a sign-up sheet, because there were a lot of times we were like, hey, let's go play pickleball, and then you go up there and there's already people sitting around, waiting, and you kind of don't know when you can go. So if there was at least a sign-up sheet that told you like, hey, the next at 2 o'clock you can come play pickleball, and then I feel like it would be a lot more organized, especially since there's only one space for that type of activity. And then the last thing that I kind of don't like, I don't know, like I said, I'm being nitpicky, was the fact that bar tab is non-refundable. So on Virgin Voyages, you don't have to purchase a drink package, but you can purchase bar tab prior to sailing. And if you purchase that bar tab, sometimes they give you a little extra. I think that's the whole point of pre-purchasing bar tab. And you don't get a refund on your money. So however much money you load onto that bar tab, it's gonna be on your Virgin account until your next cruise. You don't get it back. And so that could be an issue with some people because you really don't know how much you're gonna drink. You don't know how much money to put on. That was one of the reasons why I didn't purchase bar tab. So on to the things that I just absolutely loved. While we're talking about bar tab, the fact that there are no drink packages, I love that because that's always a deterrence to me when you're talking about booking cruises, because if you're someone that doesn't drink a lot of alcohol, then a drink package doesn't really matter for you that much, especially if you have a partner that does drink and you don't. Now you have to pay $600 in drink packages for something that you're not even going to use. So I do like the fact that there are no drink packages on Virgin Voyages, but those drinks do add up. So I don't know if it's better or worse, because I still ended up spending about the exact same amount that we would have if we paid for drink packages anyway. And that was without alcohol, because of all of the smoothies and the specialty coffees. So it just depends on what kind of person you are. I think it's cool that you're not forced to. If you're cool with just drinking juices and sodas, then it really works out for you. Another thing that I love was the fact that you get to eat anytime you want, and there are so many different options. On traditional cruises, you usually have to pick a time that you want to sit down for dinner or lunch. And I love the fact that on Virgin, if you're not going to a specialty restaurant, you can just go eat whenever you want to. The galley is open for a significant portion of the day, and then late night you have your pizza options. So I think that was really cool. The fact that you can dress however you want. If you want to wear pajamas, if you want to dress in your most formal ball gown, doesn't matter. There's no dress code, which is amazing, because sometimes you just want to eat and you don't want to think about what time you have to be there and what you have to wear. So I think that's a really great thing on Virgin's part. I feel like that kind of goes with the whole Virgin vibe of just come as you are, just enjoy yourself. So I think that was really cool. There's something for everyone on board. Now, a lot of people are really nervous when they're thinking about cruising with Virgin Voyages, because they're like, oh, it's a party cruise, and maybe you're not a partier, or you think it's just for young people. But honestly, the age demographic on that ship was huge. We had the youngest person on my voyage during a show. We told how old we all were. There was an 18-year-old, and there was somebody that was 78 years old. And so that's how big the age range was. So no matter your age, what you like to do, there's something for everybody. They had games on board, all of the different shows. None of the shows were the same. They were all completely different. So whatever kind of personality you have, you could go visit one of those shows. You could play board games. They had like shuffleboard. They had a game room. So there was so much to do that I feel like no matter what type of person you are, you can find something to do. Like, you will not be bored on that ship. Even if you never get off and don't go on any excursions, you get to meet all types of people. Everyone is just like super nice and open and ready to just mingle and have fun. So I think it's really cool. Don't be worried if that's something that you're worried about. Is Virgin just a party cruise, and am I gonna have fun? Trust me. I went to 1 or 2 parties while I was on the ship, and I realized that I'm a lot more boring than I actually thought, and I still had a great time on board. So don't worry about that. There's plenty to do. The biggest perk of Virgin Voyages that most people go for is the fact that there are no kids, right? So the perk about not having kids on board, of course, them not being there is one perk for a lot of people. But the biggest reason I think that is such a driving point for a lot of people is because that means everything is adult centered, right? The ship is made for adults. All of the entertainment, all of the activities on board, like, you can just run free and live your best adult life on that ship, because you don't have to worry about our children around, right? So yes, although there are no children, like, that's great, but it's the reasoning behind it. So like, all of the shows are extremely fun, uncensored, unfiltered. So for people that are extra sensitive, I guess maybe the shows are not for you. But honestly, I didn't see anything on board that would sway you one way or the other. I know a lot of people are worried about things like that, but it's just adult fun. I think that's the whole point. So I think that's the really cool perk. And of course, just being able to be yourself. I saw all kinds of people dressed all kinds of ways. And if you like to do that kind of stuff, Virgin is the ship for you. And if you don't like it, Virgin is still the ship for you, because everyone is very respectful of each other. Nobody's out there trying to make anyone do anything they didn't want to do. Everybody's doing their own thing, right? If you want to mix and mingle, you can. If not, you don't have to. But overall, I think I had an amazing time on the ship, honestly. And like I said, finding things that I didn't like were very hard for me, because overall it was an amazing cruise, and I really don't have anything else to compare it to right now. But Virgin is definitely at the top of my list as far as cruises for now. And so there you have it. That is the things that I liked and disliked about my latest cruise on Virgin Voyages. If you're interested in seeing how I felt overall, you can check out my other video where I talked about Virgin. See you next time. Bye.